She whispered to her friend, "He's just temporary, until my ex gets back in town." I didn't say anything, just packed my bags and moved out that night. She's been calling me ever since, asking why I overreacted. I, 30 male, moved out of my girlfriend Cassandra's 28 apartment 3 nights ago while she was asleep. No note, no explanation, just grabbed my stuff and left. Now she's losing her mind trying to figure out what happened. Here's the context. We'd been dating for 4 months. She'd been pushing for me to move in almost immediately, saying her place was closer to my work and it would make financial sense. I thought it was fast, but she seemed really into me, so I went with it. Gave up my lease and everything. 2 nights ago, she had her friend Paige over for wine night. I was in the bedroom gaming with headphones on, but took them off to grab water. That's when I heard it. Paige: "So what happens when Dominic gets back from deployment?" That's the whole point. I needed someone to cover half the rent until then. Plus it looks better if I'm taken when he comes back. Makes him work for it, you know? Isn't that kind of cruel too? What's his name again? Emmett. And no, he's sweet, but he's just temporary. Dominic gets back in 6 weeks. I'll just tell Em it's not working out. He'll move on. Everyone wins. Does Emmett know about Dominic? Cassandra laughed. God, no. He thinks I haven't dated anyone serious in years. I even hid all of Dom's stuff in the storage unit. Em has no clue he's living in another man's spot. I stood there holding an empty water glass for probably 5 minutes. Then I went back to the bedroom and started packing. Quietly, methodically. Everything I owned fit in my car anyway. Benefit of only living there 2 months. She was dead asleep when I left at 3 a.m. I drove to my buddy Vince's place and crashed on his couch. The text started at 7 a.m. "Hey babe, where'd you go? Did you have an early meeting? Your stuff isn't here. Emmett, what's going on? This isn't funny anymore. We need to talk now. You can't just leave." 47 texts, 23 calls, 12 voicemails, all variations of confusion turning to anger. Not one apology, not one "I can explain." Just "How dare you leave without talking to me, and this is so immature." The last voicemail? "I don't know what your problem is, but you're totally overreacting to whatever you think happened. Lady, I know exactly what happened. Your rent split just walked out the door." Update 1. The entitlement escalation has been something to witness. So Cassandra figured out I must have overheard her conversation with Paige. How? Because Paige felt guilty and told her. But instead of apologizing, Cassandra decided to double down. She showed up at Vince's place with a whole speech prepared. Vince recorded it on his doorbell cam, with my permission to share. "Emmett, I know you're in there. Look, yes, I have history with Dominic, but that doesn't change what we have right now. You're being incredibly selfish by just abandoning me with full rent. I have bills, I have responsibilities. You can't just leave because your feelings got hurt. Man up and let's discuss this like adults. I'll give you one chance to come back, but you need to apologize for this dramatic exit." Apologize? She wanted me to apologize. Vince opened the door just to say, "Ma'am, this is harassment. Please leave." But here's where it gets wild. Remember that storage unit she mentioned, where she hid all of Dominic's stuff? Well, she forgot one crucial detail. I'm the one who helped her set up the automatic payments for it, from her email, which was still logged into on my old tablet. I didn't do anything malicious, just forwarded myself the receipt emails. Turns out she's been paying $150 a month to hide another man's belongings while dating me. The unit inventory list was enlightening. Men's clothes, sizes that definitely weren't mine. Photo albums, a gaming setup, sentimental items, furniture that mysteriously broke right before I moved in. She'd literally put her ex's entire existence in storage to trick me into moving in. But the best part? I found Dominic on social media, publicly posted about being excited to come home to his empty apartment and fresh start as a single man. My dude had no idea Cassandra was planning their reunion, so I did what any petty person would do. I sent him a friend request. He accepted. Update 2, y'all. Dominic is my new favorite person. We met for beers. Turns out he broke up with her before deployment because she was, and I quote, exhaustingly manipulative. He showed me their last text exchange where he explicitly said, "Do not wait for me. We are done. I wish you the best, but please move on." She'd been telling everyone he was coming back to her. Everyone. Her family, friends, co-workers, she'd built this whole fantasy about their reunion. Dominic was horrified. "Bro, I've been gone 8 months. I have a girlfriend here on base. Cassandra knows this. I posted about Sarah constantly." Here's the kicker. Cassandra had been using a rotating cast of temporary boyfriends for the entire time Dominic was gone. 1. Jorge. Lasted 3 months. Moved in, paid rent. She dumped him when he started asking about meeting her parents. Terrell. Lasted 2 months. Same deal, except he left when he found men's cologne in the bathroom that wasn't his. 3. Yusuf. Lasted 4 months. Actually figured out the scheme but stayed because the rent was cheap. Left when he met someone real. 4. Me. Lasted 2 months. Speed run division. She had this down to a science. Always picked guys who needed housing. Always rushed the move-in. Always had an excuse ready for when Dominic's stuff surfaced. But Cassandra's entitlement wasn't done. She started telling people I was abusive, that I'd abandoned her in the middle of the night after a fight, that I'd stolen things I didn't, that she was afraid of me, despite showing up at Vince's place demanding I come back. Her sister Rowena reached out to me on Instagram. "Hey, Cass is saying some pretty serious stuff about you. What actually happened?" I sent her screenshots of everything. The storage unit receipts. The text where Cassandra called me temporary to her friends. Dominic's messages confirming he dumped her. Rowena's response. "Holy hell, she told us Dominic proposed before he left." The family fallout was immediate. Cassandra's parents had been paying her phone bill and car insurance thinking she was struggling after her fiancé deployed. They'd been sending extra money for the wedding she was supposedly planning. They cut her off completely. Update 3. So Cassandra's world is crumbling and she's desperate to blame anyone but herself. First, she tried to sue me for breach of verbal contract because apparently telling someone "I love you" counts as a binding agreement to pay half their rent forever. Her lawyer dropped her after one meeting. Vince's roommate Otto is in law school and overheard her consultation at a coffee shop. She literally brought a PowerPoint about emotional lease agreements. The lawyer said, "Please don't contact me again." Then she went after Dominic, posted this unhinged video saying he'd emotionally manipulated her into waiting. Sarah, Dom's actual girlfriend, responded with receipts. Years of receipts. Messages where Cassandra acknowledged the breakup, where she promised to move on, where she called Sarah a temporary distraction. The video went mini-viral in our city's social circles. 847 views might not seem like much, but when it's all people you know, devastating. But here's where Cassandra's entitlement reached its final form. She tried to get Paige to lie for her. Wanted her to say I was abusive, that I'd threatened her, that she kicked me out for her safety. Paige refused. So Cassandra did what any rational person would do. She filed a restraining order against Paige for emotional terrorism. The judge literally left. Case dismissed. In the span of 3 weeks, Cassandra lost her family's financial support, her best friend, her reputation, 4 temporary ex-boyfriends who all found each other and compared notes. Her apartment couldn't afford it solo. She moved back home, but not before one final act of entitlement. She invoiced all 4 of us for relationship services. Emotional labor, $500 a month. Companionship, $300 a month. Girlfriend experience, $1,000 a month. Housing coordination fee, $200. She actually filed these in small claims court, against all 4 of us. Separately. The judge's face during Jorge's hearing was priceless. He brought printouts of her own text messages, admitting to using him for rent. Case dismissed. She was ordered to pay his court fees. She withdrew the other 3 cases before hearings. Final update. This is the last update because karma came full circle in the most poetic way possible. Remember the storage unit with Dominic's stuff? Well, Cassandra stopped paying for it when her parents cut her off. The facility auctioned the contents after 30 days of non-payment. Guess who bought it? Dominic's girlfriend Sarah. For $50. She didn't even want the stuff, just wanted to make sure Cassandra couldn't use it to manipulate anyone else. Dominic got his gaming setup back though, so that's nice. But here's the real finale. Cassandra applied to be a contestant on a reality dating show, one of those find love in a tropical paradise types. She made it to the final round of interviews. Producers called her references. Every single reference told the truth. Jorge, Terrell, Yusuf, and I had all been listed without our permission. We were contacted separately but gave remarkably similar stories. Paige was listed too. She told them about the restraining order attempt. The show's producer actually called me personally to thank me. Said it was the most unified reference feedback they'd ever received. They're apparently using our situation as a case study for future background checks. Cassandra found out she was rejected when the show posted their cast list. She went nuclear on social media about discrimination against strategic women and how we'd formed a misogynistic coalition to ruin her life. The post got 3 likes, all from spam accounts. Last I heard, she was working at her mom's dental office and telling people she's taking a break from dating to focus on herself. Her Bumble profile says otherwise. Vince's girlfriend Layla matched with her just to see. Cassandra's bio claims she's a CEO who owns multiple properties and is looking for someone to match her energy. The photos are all from when she lived in the apartment I was paying half of. As for me, I'm good. Got my own place again. Tiny studio, but it's mine. Started therapy to work through some trust issues. Not dating yet, but I'll get there. Dominic and I still grab beers sometimes. Sarah's cool too. Jorge started a WhatsApp group for all of us called Cassandra Survivors Club. We don't talk about her much, mostly just share apartment hunting tips and red flag warnings. Funny thing about being someone's temporary solution, when you leave, you realize you were actually the permanent one holding everything together. They're the one who was temporary all along. To everyone saying I should have confronted her. Why? So she could gaslight me into staying? Manipulate me into paying her rent for another month? Nah. Sometimes the best response to disrespect is just removal of presence. And to the people who think I overreacted, she hid an entire man's existence in a storage unit to trick me into paying her bills while planning to dump me in 6 weeks. If that's not worth walking away from, what is? Edit. No, I won't share the reality show name. They were professional and I respect that. Edit 2. For those asking, the WhatsApp group now has 12 members. Turns out Cassandra had temporary boyfriends going back to college. We're considering making t-shirts. Edit 3. Dominic proposed to Sarah last week. The whole Survivors Club is invited to the wedding. Cassandra somehow found out and posted about fake friends celebrating toxic relationships. Ma'am, you're not invited because you're unhinged, not because we're toxic. Edit 4. Her mom reached out to apologize for raising whatever Cassandra became. Honestly felt bad for her. Imagine finding out your daughter's been running a rotational rent scam for years.